Please rise in body or in spirit and join me in our call to worship. People of hope, as we gather for worship on the way, we come to be blessed, to be changed, trusting that God has a word for us. We set this intention.
May we orient ourselves with a compass trained on hope, and take each day with bite-sized acts of courage, protesting numbness and blame.
May we believe in the possibility for beauty even when life isn't happy, and break free from heavy anchors and fixed mindsets, showing generous, gentle grace to everyone who is trying so darn hard.
May we ask ourselves what's needed in the 3 feet around us and show up just as we are.
Together, let us pray. Holy One, even in the bumps and brambles, the painful thistles that catch and tear our soul-worn clothing with reminders that rip, even while off-roading through winters and darkness and waves, you remind the place, our place, the ground beneath our feet, the compass in our hand, the home we carry with us. And we remember today that we are never more than a stone's throw from the pilgrim beside us. When focus wavers, we have siblings in the family to tie a lifeline, twist hay, create light, or lift the anchor. Bind us to each other as we walk with feet and hands and tired bodies, which are yours, doing the best they can. Amen. Our opening hymn, number 616, I Want to Be Ready, but I want you to notice as well that there is a refrain section and a leader section and an all section. As a congregation, we're going to do refrain and all, and Kathy's going to be our leader this morning. Let us sing.
I want walk in Jerusalem just like John. That I'll be there at the coming day, walk in Jerusalem just like John. I want to be ready. I want to be ready. I want to be ready to walk in Jerusalem just like John. When Martha spoke the Savior's name, walk in Jerusalem. Walk in Jerusalem just like John. Her faith gave Lazarus victory. Walk in Jerusalem just like John. I want to be ready. I want to be ready. I want to be ready to walk in Jerusalem just like John. Great job, everyone.
Good morning and welcome to Community United Church of Christ. My name is Tom Ward and I'll be your liturgist today. Pastor Leah and Faith Community Nurse Jonaline Radick are training today for the adult components in the Our Whole Lives Sexuality Education Series. This morning, we welcome to the pulpit the Reverend Bob Rasmus. Pastor Bob was the pastor at St. Matthew's Lutheran Church for 19 years. During his time there, Sola Grazia Farm was founded. And as you know, our Lenten mission focus is to raise funds for Sola Grazia and for our own Jubilee Cafe. We're grateful to have Pastor Bob with us this morning. This morning, our worship continues to focus on hope in this season as our congregation reads Hope, a user's manual by Mary Ann McKibben Dana, together. Hope is a practice we keep, not an ideal to which we aspire. We have to use it or we lose it. What does hope look like when you think about hope this way? We'll talk more about that as worship begins. Again, I'd like to welcome you today. Whether you are worshiping with us this morning in person or online, we welcome you. And who are we? We are young and old. We are middle-aged. We are gay and straight, and in between and beyond. We are confused and inspired, happy and sad. We are street smart and college educated. Some of us can't pay our bills, and some of us have more than enough to share. Who are we? We are the body of Christ. Together, we are the church. No matter who you are or where you are on life's journey, you are welcome here, and we really mean that. Welcome to worship.
Just as I am, your love unknown has broken every barrier down. Now to be yours and yours alone, O
During this season, we've been taking a few moments out of our worship to talk with one another about what hope is, collectively, as do Mary Ann McKibben Danis suggests, and write a hope manifesto. So this morning, the question is, if hope is an orientation rather than a destination, what does that look like? How does it function differently in your life when it is a practice you keep rather than an ideal that you hold? I want you now to slide close to one another, get 3 or 4 of you together, and talk about that question. If hope is an orientation rather than a practice, what does it look like? And how does it function differently in your life when you practice rather than as an ideal? Get yourselves together. Take a few minutes. If I let them talk, they'll talk all morning. Okay, who's got a couple of bullet points for us? You'll notice at the end of your bulletin that we have some points that were made last week during this time frame. So I would like to see if there are some folks that would like to share some things that you talked about just now, highlight some of the things that you thought about when you focus on hope being an orientation rather than a destination. Anybody? Yes, Kathy. That works. Oh, here comes a mic.
Hello. I was just discussing with Isaac that my husband Larry was a big fan of this gratitude journal that he had at one point. And you were meant to take a moment at the end or the beginning of each day and sit and write, 3 to 5 things that you were grateful for. And he gave this to me as a gift, and it sat unopened. I couldn't do it. For some reason, it was just, I don't know. I was like, you told me to do it, and that makes me not want to do it. But summarizes a lot about our relationship, he said. But I think I'm in a place right now where that would actually work really well for me. And I think the thing about thinking about gratitude is not the same as hope, but I think when I was thinking about what I would write in a gratitude journal, it forced me to really think about this moment and this day and what's good right now. And I think sometimes the future is so uncertain or feels so overwhelming or so scary that thinking about the future is too much, but thinking about your gratitude in this moment, that's hope. The hope that you know that every day you're going to be able to find something to write in that journal. So that felt like hope to me.
Thank you. So a hope journal or a hopeful journal, and importantly, thinking about right now as opposed to worrying about the future or fussing about the past.
I was sharing that during the time that I taught kids with exceptional needs, the first thing we did at every meeting about a child, a planning meeting, was to talk about a child's strengths and the things that they already knew how to do, and that, you know, the characteristics they had that were working well for them. And by starting there and then figuring out how we could use those strengths to build more skills, it kept our focus going in a positive direction rather than spending time talking about all the things that weren't working well for that child. And I think in general, when you're trying to do something or want something to change, focusing on the things that are going well and working from there is a way to be oriented toward hope.
So helping students focus on what was going well with their lives and moving forward from there. John.
We talked about staying in the present, about, the next step, the next block, the next task, the next thing, the birds singing, taking out of each moment that we're in the present and we can feel what's going on in that present.
Staying in the present. Anything else? Yeah.
I did miss last week, so forgive me if this has already been brought up. But what came to my mind was Mariam Kaba is an activist working on social justice issues, and she says, her saying is, hope is a discipline. It's like a muscle. It's a something you have to do. And we were talking about the difference, but trying to really grab onto the difference between optimism and hope that was talked about a few weeks ago. If you think of it like that, when you're fighting for social injustice, there's a lot of losses, and you have to, it's the keeping on going and the journey along the way with each other, because that's better isn't going to work until you're doing it with other people, and it's not something that so it's, I think it's kind of the action of exercising the muscles, of letting go, of having to expect that you'll win and it'll be good and great, but still being able to hold the belief of what should and keep going, and understanding that even in those losses there's God, and there's our community together, and we will be okay if we are acting in that way towards each other.
Remembering that it's a journey, not a destination. That's right. That's good. That's good. Anything from our remote folks? No? Okay. Okay. Well, thank you much for those thoughts and ideas. Thank you.
Appreciate that conversation. I come from a Lutheran orientation. If someone says, "Why don't you talk among yourselves?" people suddenly will try to get that lint off their legs and look down and so, well, how refreshing. As we share signs of peace with one another, you're invited to either stay in your pew and offer a wave or a peace sign to those around you, or move from your space and exchange signs of peace with one another, whatever you think. As a church, we recognize some folks may want to refrain from shaking hands, so respect one another's lead in this as we pass the peace. Peace be with you. Let's share that peace with one another. Before, and I remember that at this point we turn to the camera, right? And we welcome those who are worshiping with us remotely. Peace be with you. Gene, I'm going to go first. Can I have the kids come up, please? Why don't you come all the way up here so people can see you this morning? And while they're coming up, you got some work to do. So when we're going to be growing we need to come all the way up, please. Yep. So we're going to be growing some seeds here. And so when I say, and the sun began to shine, you'll go, here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo, here comes the sun. And I say, Kathy's going to lead you on how to do that. And so little plants need rain too, so when I say, and it began to rain, you're going to go, singing in the rain, we're singing. So follow Kathy's cue and listen to the choir because they've already rehearsed this. Okay? Yeah, that was it. And you may never have me back. Okay, so we need to, everybody's going to be a seed here. Once the top, you need to come down here, curl up like this. You're a seed, okay? What did you see? Yeah, there you go. You're a little seed, okay? So one day a farmer planted 4 seeds in the ground, and the seed was laying there, sleeping and minding his own business, and suddenly the sun came out.
Here comes the sun, I say, it's all right.
And the sun made the seed feel warm and strong, but a little bit thirsty, and the seed started to sit up. So I am so thirsty, and it started to rain.
We're singing in the rain, just singing in the rain.
And when the rain came down into the soil, the seed lapped it up because she was so thirsty. And she began to grow, and she said, this is such hard work, I could use some help. So the sun came out.
Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun.
And the seed started to feel like a plant. She said, I think I'm changing into a plant. You gotta put your hands together like this because you're growing. And the seed was growing in the ground. She said, oh, this work is making me so thirsty. And it started to rain.
We're singing in the rain, just singing in the rain.
And the plant drank up that rain and felt so good she broke through the soil. And suddenly her leaves were above the soil. And she said, oh, this is wonderful. But I could use a little more help because I feel like I gotta get stronger. And so the sun came out again.
Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun.
And that plant felt so strong that she broke through there and she opened her arms up and her leaves up and she said, this is so what I feel great, but I'm awful thirsty. And so the rain came again. And the plant drank up all the rain, and she felt so wonderful and so strong, and she realized that she had become what she was supposed to be. She had fulfilled her destiny. She was a big, strong, beautiful plant. And just then the farmer came along and plucked all the plants out of the ground, scrubbed them up, and put them in a fridge. A little while later, the church came along and took the plant out and chopped it up and put it in a salad. And then a guy we call our neighbor came and put a bunch of poppy seed dressing on it and gobbled it up. So what do you think the plant thought about that? Huh? What do you think the plant thought about that? Have a dead plant, do you think the plant was sad? No, the plant was super happy because the plant had fulfilled what it was supposed to do. It became what God had intended, something beautiful and strong and helpful to help others grow strong and grow into their own. And so the farmer was very grateful because the plant was helping the farmer fulfill their destiny. You can put your arms down now. You're in a salad. And the farmer was so grateful and happy because the plant helped him fulfill his destiny to grow food, to help others grow strong and fulfill their own destinies. And the church felt so good because the plant helped them fulfill their destiny and to find the neighbor and help feed the neighbor and make them strong so they can fulfill their destiny. And the neighbor felt so good because he was hungry and he got food, and now he felt stronger and he felt like I can fulfill my own destiny. Okay, so that's kind of what we're doing when we're sharing with Sola Gratia Farm in this church in Jubilee Cafe. We're doing what God wants us to do, has called us to do, to share with one another and help each other strengthen and fulfill our destinies. And so we have to munch you little rascals in the process, but thank you for that. Jean?
Come on over here, guys. So I just wanted to update you on where we are on our corn stalk over here. You might remember last week we had just a little over $2,000 that we had raised so far. And during church last week we raised about another $700. And then we also got $1,000 of match money that one of our members said that they would give if we had raised 1,000. They said they would contribute 1,000 more, and so we are now up to $3,750 with our corn stock. So we're getting up there, and we have about 2 weeks left. We have Palm Sunday next week and Easter the week after that. And so if you've been saving money, or your family has, this is the time to bring it in so that we can count it. As you all know, we will accept it late if you don't have it here by Easter, but we would love to have it to add to our total so that we can continue to help our corn stalks grow. We're getting up there. We're about 2/3 of the way to our goal. So, yay! You all will be following Allison and Bryn back there. Have a fun time at Sunday school. Where are we going? I forgot this was my part too. So later in worship, we will offer up our joys and concerns. Your prayer requests will be offered aloud. Whether you're sitting here in the sanctuary or worshiping with us remotely, you are invited to add your joys and concerns to the prayer list. You can go to community-ucc.org/pray, which is a Google form, or you can scan the QR code found here, or there are prayer cards on the table at the back of the sanctuary and in a few of the pews, I know, that you may fill out and hand to the usher. Thank you very much.
Whether we take what is written in the Bible as fact, metaphor, myth, or story, let us listen now for the meaning it might hold for us on this day. Our reading this morning is from the Gospel of John, the 11th chapter, and I'll be reading verses 1 through 45. Now a certain man was ill, Lazarus of Bethany, the village of Mary and her sister Martha. Mary was the one who anointed the Lord with perfume and wiped his feet with her hair. Her brother, Lazarus, was ill. So the sisters sent a message to Jesus, "Lord, he whom you love is ill." But when Jesus heard it, he said, "This illness does not lead to death. Rather, it is for God's glory, so that the Son of God may be glorified through it." Accordingly, though Jesus loved Mary and her sister and Lazarus, after having heard that Lazarus was ill, he stayed 2 days longer in the place where he was. Then, after this, he said to his disciples, "Let us go to Judea again." The disciples said to him, "Rabbi, the Jews were just there now. We're just trying to stone you, and you're going to go there again?" Jesus answered, Are there not 12 hours of daylight? Those who walk during the day do not stumble, because they see the light of this world. But those who walk at night stumble because the light is not in them. After saying this, he told them, "Our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep, but I am going there to awaken him." The disciples said to him, "Lord, if he has fallen asleep, he'll be all right." Jesus, however, had been speaking about his death, but they thought he was referring merely to sleep. Then Jesus told them plainly, Lazarus is dead. For your sake, I am glad I was not there, so that you may believe. But let us go to see him. Thomas, who was called the twin, said to his fellow disciples, Let us also go, that we may die with him. When Jesus arrived, he found that Lazarus had already been in the tomb for 4 days. Now Bethany was near Jerusalem, some 2 miles away, and many of the Jews had come to Martha and Mary to console them about their brother. When Martha heard that Jesus was coming, she went and met him, while Mary stayed at home. Martha said to Jesus, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. But even now I know that God will give you whatever you ask of him. Jesus said to her, Your brother will rise again. Martha said to him, I know that he will rise again in the resurrection on the last day. Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. Those who believe in me, even though they die, will live. And everyone who lives and believes in me will never die. Do you believe this? She said to him, Yes, Lord, I believe that you are the Messiah, the Son of God, the one coming into the world. When she said this, she went back and called her sister Mary and told her privately, The teacher is here and is calling for you. And when she heard it, she got up quickly and went to him. Now Jesus had not yet come to the village, but was still at the place where Martha had met him. The Jews who were with her in the house, consoling her, saw Mary get up quickly and go out. They followed her because they thought that she was going to the tomb to weep there. When Mary came where Jesus was and saw him, she knelt at his feet and said to him, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. When Jesus saw her weeping, and the Jews who came with her also weeping, he was greatly disturbed in spirit and deeply moved. He said, Where have you laid him? They said to him, Lord, come and see. Jesus began to weep. So the Jews said, See how he loved him? But some of them said, Could not he who opened the eyes of the blind man have kept this man from dying? Then Jesus, again greatly disturbed, came to the tomb. It was a cave, and a stone was lying against it. Jesus said, Take away the stone. Martha, the sister of the dead man, said to him, Lord, already there is a stench because he has been dead for 4 days. Jesus said to her, Did I not tell you that if you believed, you would see the glory of God? So they took away the stone. And Jesus looked upward and said, Father, I thank you for having heard me. I knew that you always hear me, but I have said this for the sake of the crowd standing here, so that they may believe that you sent me. When he had said this, he cried with a loud voice, Lazarus, come out! And the dead man came out. His hands and feet were bound with strips of cloth, and his face wrapped in a cloth. Jesus said to them, Unbind him and let him go. Many of the Jews, therefore, who had come with Mary and had seen what Jesus did, believed in him. Together, let us say, May the Spirit bless us with wisdom and wonder as we ponder the meaning of these words for our lives. Would invite you to stand in body or in spirit, and our next hymn, number 433.
In the palm there is a flower, in the seed an apple tree, in cocoons a hidden promise, butterflies will soon be free. In the cold and snow of winter, there's a spring that waits to be unrevealed until its season, something God alone can see. There's a song
You may be seated. Good morning. If you came in late or you're joining us online, I am Pastor Bob Rasmus. My latest gig was the pastor of St. Matthew Lutheran Church in Urbana, where I served for 19 years and retired in 2019. I was the pastor of that community when we started Sola Gracia Farm. And Leah has asked that I share a little bit of the history of the farm with you, so I'll do that this morning. I know Tracy was here a few Sundays ago, but I'll give you a little more of an expanded narrative about the farm. Way back in 2011, some of us in the church began a conversation about what to do with all the land we had behind the church. We were blessed with a bunch of land behind our church footprint. For years we had been farming that, conventional farming. For a while we had 10 acres, and then we sold some when we had 5. And we would sell the grain from those acres, corn and soybeans at market prices, and then share that money with global hunger initiatives, mostly in Africa and South America. For several years we farmed the 5 acres, but eventually also the land that the Meyer store sits on. I wrote them a letter before they built the building, and I said, if we promised to give away everything that we take off this land, would you let us farm it for free? And they said, sure. They said, okay. And so we farmed those about 20 acres there before they built the building. Meyer, good people. Well, this was going on. There's a faith-based organization, which I'm sure you're familiar with, Faith in Place. They needed an office space because their office was being remodeled, so we invited them to come and share space with the church. So Brian Souter, who was the regional director then and who is now the executive director, came over, and we had a lot of conversations about Faith in Place and about ministry and about our land. And so we thought maybe we would merge the ideas of Faith in Place and St. Matthew Lutheran Church, so we decided, let's propose that we start an organic farm out here on this land as a demonstration project for a church to demonstrate sustainability, stewardship, and in order to support that, we'll sell shares to the community, and we will be an example of how a church is a good steward of God's creation. We thought that was a pretty good idea. And so we brought it to the church council, and they said, yeah, that's a pretty good idea, but it's not our idea. That's not what we do. For years, we've been using that land to underwrite programs and projects to feed the hungry globally. And so they turned down the idea. But about the time that they passed on that, Feeding America, the umbrella organization for all of the food banks, or many of the food banks across the nation, released a report that showed that food insecurity was higher in Champaign County than it was in Cook County. In other words, we had a lot of hungry neighbors right outside our back door, and we weren't seeing them. And we felt kind of convicted by that. So knowing that fresh vegetables are vital to a healthy diet and are often inaccessible to people of limited means, we decided we would propose doing our little organic farm, selling the shares to the community so they could support this ministry, but then we would covenant to tithe at least 10% of everything we took off the land to hunger programs, particularly then the Eastern Illinois Food Bank. We would leverage 10%, we would leverage the farm to give at least 10% of our vegetables to the hungry. Veggies are expensive. If you have no family history of purchasing fresh vegetables or preparing them, you don't really know where to begin, so we decided we would provide these, and the food bank was enthusiastic about putting those in their inventory because of the apparent need. So that's what we did. We brought that to the church council, and they said, bingo, now you're talking. That's within the purview of our mission, and so we did. And that's how the farm was born. So first we had to come up with a name. We had this idea, we had this plot of land, and so I wanted to call it Martin's Garden. Martin's Garden, after Martin Luther, the namesake of the Lutheran Church from which I hail, and people laughed out loud in my face. And they said, that sounds like a Monopoly game. No, that's a bad name. Somebody said, one of our Catholic friends actually said, well, you Lutherans, why don't you call it Sola Gratia? I said, wow, that's a good name. Sola Gratia. During the Reformation, when the church was self-identifying and differentiating itself from the Roman Catholic Church at the time, it had these solas. Sola means only. Sola gratia, by grace alone, is what sola gratia means. So the Lutherans were saying, by grace alone and through faith alone, sola fide, and through Christ alone, sola Christe, we are saved. And so, sola gratia, by grace alone. How many Lutherans does it take to start a farm? I was looking for that punchline forever, and I found it. Sola gratia, by grace alone. Sort of like how many Lutherans does it take to change a light bulb? But you've heard that one. I won't bore you with it. So off we went with Sola Gratia Farm. It was consistent with our heritage, but it was also a reality check. Before we got too full of ourselves, too self-congratulatory, we were reminded that it is by grace alone that we would pull this off. And by our own foolishness and hubris, we might blow the whole thing. We sorely tested that notion of by grace alone. We had bugs, all sorts of bugs I've never heard of. We had drought. Do you remember 2012? It didn't rain much at all, 2012. We had personnel issues. We had water issues. We had confidence issues, and we almost went under. And that was just the first summer. But by grace alone, we made it to the second summer. And we did better. And we continued to honor our mission. And we learned as we went along. And what was amazing to me, and it shouldn't have been because it's kind of a no-brainer, number of community partners that we developed. Without our network of volunteers and the enthusiastic participation of our shareholders and the buy-in from the community, that farm would have certainly failed. But people want to be a part of something that's intent on changing things for the better. People want to be a part of something that sees the neighbor. And if we got anything right, maybe we got that right. Over these years, we've developed relationships with the Public Health District, with Carl Hospital, with this church and Jubilee Cafe, with the Daily Bread Soup Kitchen, with Red Herring and other local restaurants. We sell vegetables every Tuesday and every Saturday at the farmers markets in Champaign, where we honor the SNAP cards and WIC cards and senior cards, and we give generous allocations to those who purchase their vegetables in that way. We are a mentoring farm for others interested in this kind of ministry. We provide thousands and thousands of seeds and starts to numerous local gardens and nonprofit organizations all across this part of the state. We are in the process of developing a farm-to-school curriculum to raise awareness about local gardening and the nutritious benefits of fresh vegetables and how we can better take care of one another, and on and on and on. And the whole time, I'm proud to say we've not lost sight of our mission and continue to serve the people that we covenanted to serve, donating over time in excess of 20% of everything that comes off the farm, while still maintaining the organic practices and caring for the farm in a sustainable manner. How many Lutherans does it take to start a farm? Sola gratia. By grace alone are we able to do this. A couple of weeks ago, we signed the paperwork to purchase 29 acres east of the farm. So we could own it, because we've been, except for the little 5-acre plot that we had at the church, we were renting other land. So we bought this land. 22 acres are tillable and gardenable. I think that is now a word. The other 7 is woods and brush, which we'll use to set some perennial gardens. So that is the what of Sola Gratia Farm. And I could go on and on and on, and my wife is looking at me like, you already are. But I think what's more important is the why of the farm. We believe that we had something, assets, like each of you do, like each church does, like this church does. We had some assets that we identified, particularly that we believed we could employ to serve our neighbors and to make the place that we shared a better place, make tangible our faith, And in the words of our gospel lesson today, to glorify God. We had land, we had a mission, we had the will to act, and finally we felt called to respond to our neighbors in this way. I'm not a pastor who names his sermons because I'm never really organized enough to get my sermon done before they print the bulletin. That's a fact. But if I were one of those guys, I think I would call this sermon Hope, a case study. This farm was built, this plan was executed, these partnerships were developed out of the hope that what we do and the decisions we make and the partnerships that we form would benefit our neighbors and help to change the world. And we learned a couple of things about hope along the way. The first is that hope is an act. It was the subject of our chapter this week. Thoughts and prayers are not enough. We know that. Hope is an action. The author of our study book made that case quite clearly. She said, hope is an insurgent act, like flowers in an urban park, or I would add like a farm in the middle of town, or a free cafe in the basement of a church. Hope moves, hope acts. She went on to quote Lutheran pastor Mitri Rahib, who ministers under occupation in Palestine and has his whole ministry. She says his motto, his statement of faith is, hope is what we do. She says, I love the double meaning. Hope is what we do in the sense of the business that we're in. But even deeper is this, she says, hope is wrapped up in what we make real. Hope is wrapped up in what we make real. Hope isn't what we think. Hope isn't what we feel. Hope isn't even what we imagine is possible. Hope is what we do in the face of suffering, pain, and injustice, she says. Hope is what we do. Hope is what we do in the face of hunger, in the face of isolation. Hope is what we do in the face of divided communities and broken lives. Hope is what we do, wrapped up in what we make real. As we went along, we began to understand in more radical ways than we ever thought possible that hope is communal and infectious. This public act, this idea shared among people of goodwill and shared values suddenly got legs. And here we are. If our mission had been seriously flawed or poorly articulated or jealously held close, people of like mind would not have joined us to make this a reality, and all of the good intentions and the platitudes in the world would not have fed one hungry person. Sola Gratia Farm is essentially a communal phenomenon, a communal act of hope inspired by faith. We want to be a part of the fabric of our community now and be relied upon as a resource for helping us to understand who is our neighbor and how we can be in relationship with them and how we can break down the walls between us and them. And we want to be in partnership with others in this endeavor. And we are in partnership with you and with others across the community. We've come to know for certain that we don't do this on our own, can't do this on our own, should not do this on our own. Hope is communal. Together we channel hope. We test positive for hope for God's sake, for the church. It's our DNA. And as the church, we make a particular claim that the true source of our hope comes from outside of ourselves. Let's tell the truth, brothers and sisters. We are not equipped, strong enough, brave enough, deep enough to take the risks and dare the changes and make the sacrifices necessary to effect change in the long run if we rely on our own stuff, because all the other stuff that gets in the way. So we need each other to hold each other accountable and to keep us on mission. We need to be together. Our hope is a gift that we share together. We've been in the hope business, after all, for over 2,000 years. Last week's story of the blind man whose sight is restored is a story of hope over against things we think are beyond our power to grasp or realize or understand or even accept. Who sinned, this man or his parents? This week's account of Lazarus, what a crazy, audacious, difficult hope that we are inspired to consider. But if Mary and Martha had been left to the disposition of Lazarus, Mary's observation that he stinks would have been profoundly realized. There would have been no story here, but to report that a man died and his friends and family were sad. No, the source of our hope and what is possible and its consequence is located particularly in the person of Jesus Christ and the cross that he bore. A violent, lethal punishment meant to instill fear and control community and quash hope. Yet hope broke out and prevailed over that destructive agenda, and it is ours now to live and to share. Because one more thing, hope bears witness. Hope bears witness. The blind man is healed in the public square and is held publicly accountable. Lazarus is raised in the midst of a wailing community and a gaggle of skeptics. Christ is crucified publicly before the religious and military authorities and the mourning public. These are radical public acts that bear witness to the hope that is embedded in the beloved community, in our community, shared and spent and shared again for the sake of our neighbor. It is public, communal act of faith for the sake of the neighbor and for the glory of God. It is what we do. It's what we do. And I'm thankful this morning that we do this together. I'm grateful that this community has partnered with us as a public witness to what is possible and who matters and who's accountable. I'm thankful for the gifts you are sharing with us this season, not only of the stock, but of your prayers and your encouragement and your invitation. Grateful for your courage in daring and sustaining the ministry of Jubilee Cafe, even through the pandemic. So thank you for your fellowship in the beloved community and the opportunity to share a few minutes with you. Thanks be to God. Amen.
The words of Hebrews 10 calls us to generosity this season. Let us hold tightly without wavering to the hope we affirm, for God can be trusted to keep God's promise. Let us think of ways to motivate one another to acts of love and good works. Let us not neglect our meeting together, as some people do, but encourage one another. Let what we offer encourage one another to be signs of hope for our weary world. And let the people say, Amen. I now invite our ushers to come forward.
Blessed my story, this is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. This is my story, this is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. Perfect submission, perfect delight, visions of rapture, the birth of my sight. Angels descending, bring from above, echoes of mercy, whispers of love. This is my story, this is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. This is my story, this is my song, praising my Savior all the day long.
Good morning. This is the moment in worship when we share the joys and concerns of our congregation, friends, and community. Please take a look at the ongoing prayer requests in your bulletin. Join me now as we hold the community's needs in our hearts. As I read each petition aloud, please join me in saying, God, in your mercy, hear our prayer. Elena asks prayers for her sister, who is battling another round with breast cancer. God, in your mercy, hear our prayers. Elena also offers prayers for Cora, hoping that she finds a good way to cope with losing her little birdie over spring break. God, in your mercy, hear our prayers. Kelly offers prayers for her hometown of Fairbury and the Prairie Central community. 2 high school seniors, Dylan and Drew, died in a sledding accident last Sunday. Prayers for peace and comfort to their families and a devastated small-town community. God, in your mercy, hear our prayers. Allison offers prayers of comfort and healing for her Aunt Bertle, who broke her hip on Friday and needed surgery. God, in your mercy, hear our prayers. Allison offers prayers of thanksgiving for the life of her family friend James, who died last week after a long illness. Prayers of comfort for all who mourn him. God, in your mercy, hear our prayers. Dennison Rowe would like to thank Amira for being so helpful and enthusiastic turning on the candles this morning. God, in your mercy, hear our prayers. Nate offers prayers of ongoing healing for Mara and another student, and prayers of joy for some returning campus ministry students. God, in your mercy, hear our prayers. I'd like to offer prayers of healing and comfort for the Ewalt family as they mourn the passing of Aaron's father, Mark, who died from ALS on Tuesday. God, in your mercy, hear our prayers. Amanda says that her aunt's dad is in the hospital right now and not doing well. She'd like to offer prayers for him and her aunt to have comfort and love during this time. God, in your mercy, hear our prayers. Roe would like to request prayers and deepest sympathies on a coworker's unexpected passing. Brian died the other day being hit by a vehicle after changing a flat tire on his way home from work. She'd like to extend comfort and good thoughts for his family who's holding a memorial today. May God hold them close in this time of need. God, in your mercy, hear our prayers. And our congregation would like to thank Reverend Bob Rasmus for choosing to be here today and sharing your story. We welcome those of you who are here to support Pastor Bob, and we're so grateful to see new faces. You are welcome here anytime. God, in your mercy, hear our prayers.
Let us pray. Creating God, you pack the mysteries of life and death within the smallest seed. Life flows into the making of the seed, and the seed must change, must die for new life to come forth from it. And you are the one who calls forth that life, for death is not meant to be the end, but just one part of the journey. And just as you create that seed to live and to grow and to change and transform for new life, so too you create us to be like that seed. You give us new ideas and new ways of coping as the world around us grows and changes too, so that we might learn and grow and flourish, bearing the good fruit of your love planted within our hearts. Our words and our deeds bear witness to what you call us to do and be. And so we pray, help us to hear your voice calling us forth to new life. Unbind us from the things that keep us from knowing you, the things that keep us from loving you with all our being, the things that keep us from loving one another. Give us wisdom, give us strength, give us courage that we might be signs of hope for your sake and for the sake of the world you love. Amen.
We've come to the time for commissioning of the community. Would invite all of you that have announcements to share with the congregation to please come forward. Jean.
Continued attention to our Lenten project. As I mentioned earlier, we'd love to have you bring your donations in the next couple of weeks or do those online. But also, I wanted to mention that Pastor Nate mentioned Mara and prayers for healing, continued healing for Mara. I was on the meal train yesterday and noticed that there are still plenty of opportunities if people would like to provide a meal to Mara and her family. That would be wonderful. Please go ahead and sign up, and I'm sure Mara would appreciate it. Thank you.
Hi folks, I just want to remind you that this clipboard is in the parlor and we are still absent any greeters for the coming month. It's a pretty easy job. You show up about 15 minutes early and you are friendly, standing by a door. So I think you can handle it. And I would encourage you to just think about, these jobs are all ones where you're just showing up at about 10 o'clock, maybe 5 of. Either think about whether you could commit to doing it once a month and just be like, first Sunday of the month, it's me. Whatever, something like that. If that works for you, that's great if you're a plan ahead person. If you're not a plan ahead person, but you know that the week of, you might be available, you could give your name to Carla in the office and say, put me on the call that week list. We just need beautiful bodies, and we are all beautiful bodies. So think of a way that you can be supportive of our community in that way and make it happen. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Ilsa Cantola. I am your campus ministry liaison to the Church Life Board. So I am up here wearing both hats today, a Church Life Board member and your campus ministry rep. As we've told you previously, Pastor Nate is going to be ending his time as director of campus ministry at the end of this school year, and we are very sorry to see him go. The Campus Ministry Board has been working internally with the Convergence consultant, Greg Carlson, who's worked with the church before, and with the Church Life Board to determine how we're going to move forward from here. We've decided that instead of simply filling the position as it stands, we're going to branch out and design a full-time position to be yoked between campus ministry and community UCC, a position that would serve the needs of both organizations with a campus minister for campus ministry and a youth minister for CUCC. Now, I'm sure as soon as I said that, many of you thought of 3 or 4 questions, probably starting with how would that work and extending into time and finance and responsibilities. Good news. Members of the Campus Ministry Board and the Church Life Board will be on hand on April 2nd, that's next week, and April 16th, that's in 3 weeks, after worship, also on Zoom on April 13th, time to be determined. All of these meetings and discussions will culminate in a congregational vote on the proposal on April 30th. So we've got a little time to talk about this and think about this. We're looking forward to meeting with you, explaining the ins and outs of this idea, and hearing your questions. There will be more information in your April communigram this week, so put those dates on your calendar, and we look forward to meeting with you then.
Okay, so Tom made me come up first. My name is Rocio, and I am part of the Hospitality Committee. And I wanted to let you guys know that we have met with Pastor Leah this week, and we are going to go ahead. I don't know if you've seen your save the date. We're going to go ahead and have our Easter breakfast for the first time since COVID. Yay. So Dennis and I will be here at 8 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I can't remember when Easter is, but the 9th. So on the 9th, we will be here at 8 o'clock. We will start eating at 8:30. Now, we're doing it at 8:30, so everybody can come eat at 8:30. Now, the choir has to eat because they have to practice at 9 o'clock. So you're welcome to come at any time, but remember, there might be slim pickings when you get here. And after the choir. Now, you can bring a dish to share. If you forget to sign up or it doesn't matter. You guys can bring, if you feel like baking that morning or cooking breakfast that morning, just bring it on in. We are trying to do, like the first Sunday of every month, have something for everybody. So if you guys would like to bring something on the first Sunday of the month, that'd be great. We're going to try to have a sign-up sheet, I think. I think it's easier for people. But even if you don't sign up and feel like you wake up and you feel like cooking, that's all right. Now, cleanup. I know there's a lot of people asking about helping clean up afterwards. We're not going to have a cleanup sign-up, but if you'd like to help, you're welcome to bop in. And if you have any questions, I think that's it. That's it, Dennis? Huh? Yeah, so I think that's it. Thank you. Okay.
Easter breakfast, I'm pumped. Our closing hymn for the morning, God's Eye is on the Sparrow, number 475. I encourage you to stand in body or in spirit and join us.
Verses 1 and 2. Why should I feel discouraged? Why should the shadows come? Why should my heart be lonely and long for heaven and home? When God
Thank you for joining us in worship today. I hope you enjoy this beautiful day. The sun is shining. Here comes the sun, remember? Oh, that's asking too much. And now may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord's face shine on you and be gracious to you. May the Lord look upon you with favor and give you peace. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.